Hey guys, and welcome back to Pro Speed Baseball. Now, today's video is very predicated on a lot of our online students. We have a lot of online students that are developing just unbelievably great mechanics because they're working on the right things at the right times. Now, what's insanely important is that they're getting their great mechanics, but they also need to understand that after we have a really good swing ingrained, we need to understand how to use that swing. Now, one of the key components to understanding how to use your great swing is to understand the zone that we want to hit the ball in. We call this the power zone. In today's video, we're going to go over exactly what the power zone is, the area that you're going to want to swing at so that you can make sure you can put to use all of the hard work you've been putting in your swing. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first question arises, why is the power zone, the hitting area, so important? First and foremost, it's going to give us our best possible chance to get solid contact, and it's going to get us insanely disciplined on to swing at pitches at the proper height. Now, how does the power zone help us do that? So first, let's go over where the power zone is. Guys, it's insanely simple. We're looking at mainly our pitch height here today. We're going to go from the belt to the knees area. It is going to be a strict, I'm not swinging at anything above the belt or anything below the knees. Anywhere in between, that is our power zone. That is the zone that we're going to be able to be most efficient in while we hit. Now, we got a little bit to go over of why this happens, so let's stick with me in this video, and we're going to go over exactly why we want to hit the ball in this belt to knees area. So guys, the first and most obvious reason why we want to train and swing at balls in the power zone is this is the big part of the strike zone. Most pitchers are going to want to be wanting to throw it low in the zone, and this is going to be the most popular area that we're going to see pitches. That's, kind of the arbitrary value on why we want to hit the ball in the power zone, but the main reason is the way that our body's built, the way that the swing is built, this is going to be our most powerful area. Every single one of you guys can stand up right now. And if you let your arms hang by your side, your hands are going to hang somewhere around your mid-thigh height area. So if you know from the Pro Speed hitting system, we talk about the perfect tee setup. Setting up the tee for a perfect down the middle pitch is going to be about mid-thigh height. That's going to be the middle of the hitting area. So we got the belt to the knees. In your thigh area, the middle of your thighs is going to be the middle of the hitting area. So our hands hang to this area. This is where our hands want to release. This is where they want to go. They naturally want to hang here. This is our most natural standing position. When we make our swing, this is where our hands want to go. That is going to be our most powerful blow. If I want to try to start hitting something up here, now I'm going to engage some small muscles in my shoulders. Not quite the best in the world. I know all you guys at home probably say, well, I kill the high pitches. We all kill the high pitches, but we'll go over again in this video why we don't want to be swinging at those high pitches. Now, if my hands hang about mid-thigh height, we want to take the average of where we want our ideal swings to be. The average is going to be in between our belt and our knees. So we've got the midpoint is our middle of our thigh. The high point is our hips. The low point is our knees. So we can call it belt to knees. Makes it very, very simple. So we know that our body wants to fire into that zone. So now it's going to be so much easier and faster to get to this area, and we're going to have more control, which is going to give us more speed and more solid contact more consistently. So now I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are asking right now, well, that's not the full strike zone. If you look up the strike zone on Google or something like that, you'll see that it's going to be somewhere around our chest to our knees is going to be about where the strike zone is. So the power zone, guys, is not the strike zone. This is where we want to hit the ball. So I will go ahead and give you kind of a disclaimer. If we do have two strikes on us, we want to expand our hitting area to, roughly our chest to our knees so that we don't let the guy behind the plate call us out on something that is obviously not a strike. But the power zone, guys, where we want to hit the ball is between the belt and the knees. So let's not confuse that with the strike zone. It is in the strike zone, but this is where we want our ideal swings to be made. So all that being said, I want to go over here just really quick. I want to touch on why we don't want to swing at balls above the waist. Okay, above the waist, this is taking us out of our natural anatomical swing with the bat, but also out of a ton of instruction. I worked with, anywhere from 6 years old to professional level players all the time. I've never seen anyone consistently hit the ball good above the waist. It is a ball. It's going to get called a ball more times than not. It's a double-edged sword. It's easier to pop the ball up. It's also easier to get backspin. And this is why a lot of guys think they can hit the ball so well when it's a high pitch. But it's just not going to give us the average or the speed that we want into the ball at anywhere consistent. So if you want to hit 1 out of 20 really, really well, then yeah, we can swing at high pitches. But if we stay disciplined in the hitting area, we are going to be consistent from game to game and season to season, which is what we're striving to do as a great hitter. It's not about one at bat. It's not about one pitch. It's about an entire season, entire game, entire tournament, whatever your situation is. You want to be consistent, and in the power zone, it's going to get you consistent. So how do we work on hitting balls in the power zone? Well, first and foremost, we can understand where the zone is, which we now know is between the belt and the knees, and we can understand that there are about 9 general areas that we can recognize as the hitting area. So we have anywhere we have our inside, down the middle, outside, and we have high pitch, which for us in the power zone is going to be at our waist, so our belt high. Then we have our down the middle pitch, which is going to be mid thigh height, and then we have our knee high pitch that's going to be knee high. So we've got 9 different zones here. We've got 3 zones. We got the inside, middle, outside, and we have high, middle, low. If you put a grid on this, you have 9 different areas. So what we can do to start learning this zone is start putting this tee where we want it in those 9 zones. In the Pro Speed hitting system, we have something called the 9 zone drill that goes exactly into this. And there's actually a great challenge with the drill, so you can start getting really good at hitting all the areas in the power zone. So just to give you an example right here, I can say, okay, I want to understand the highest balls I want to hit. I can go ahead and raise this tee up. I'll stand right by the tee, and I'll go to about my waist high, my belt high level right here. And I can stand in here for inside pitch, and I can see this. And what I'm doing here by working on this, I'm starting to gather spatial awareness of where the ball is in relationship to my body. So right now, even with my personal view on this ball to me looks kind of high because, I'm not training like I was when I was playing pro ball, but I can stand next to this and I can see that even in my stance, this is about the highest pitch I'm going to want to hit in that power zone. So if what I can do is I can start taking some swings, even though this looks high to me, I've got some spatial awareness now, and I can start taking some swings and understanding, hey, that's where I want to hit the ball. And then I can do the other end of the spectrum. I can go low to about my knee high, and I can put this on the outside part of the plate, and I can put it anywhere I want, but just to kind of give you guys a opposite end of the spectrum, getting to my perfect tee setup for an outside pitch. Okay, now, again, this tee is about at my knee high. I guess we could get a little bit lower tee, so it's a little bit above my knee. But that right there doesn't look like that low of a pitch to me. So the high pitch looked really high. The low pitch doesn't look that low. So now already I'm gaining some spatial awareness to understand where that ball is. So, okay, now I know I can see that right there, and I can start training the 9 zone drill to understand where everything is. So load stride here. Okay, so now I know that pitch that I just swung at is in my power zone. So if you guys want a full breakdown on the 9 zone drill, make sure you check that video out so you can understand how we want to do that 9 zone drill. Now, the rest of this, guys, is going to be, being very diligent with your practice. And again, why I'm spending so much time on this is because it is that important, because when you build a great swing, you should be able to hit the ball great. Building a great swing means I'm in the zone for a long period of time, meaning my timing doesn't need to be that good to be a great hitter. If I'm using that great swing and swinging at pitches in the power zone, we have a recipe for just killing the ball all the time. So now what you're going to do, and this is very important, you set up your camera not about exactly your belt height. And you set it up face on, belt high. And when you're taking front toss or batting practice, what you can do is now, we have these beautiful phones now, these beautiful cameras that can slow everything down for us. You're going to check and make sure that you're swinging at pitches. And because the camera's going to be at your midpoint, which is about your waist, you're going to be able to see the true height of the pitch. Now, if your camera's down on the ground, every pitch is going to look high. If your camera's up too high, every pitch is going to look too low. Make sure you have that camera set up perfectly, and then just check yourself when you're hitting batting practice. If you see that all of a sudden you're swinging at pitches up here and you think they're at your waist, well, now you can start gathering even more spatial awareness. And you can do this in side toss, front toss, batting practice on the field. But guys, it is, maybe it's a little bit of a pain to get the camera at the right height and everything, but it truly, truly pays off when it comes to performance on the field. And that's what we do all of this instruction for. This is what we do all this work for. This is why you guys are watching this video, so that you can hit well in a game. This is what it's all about. And the final thing I want to go over is that, you know, I get this question a lot from a lot of our online students, is, you know, am I perfectly strict? If it's like 1 inch above the belt or 1 inch below the knees, you know, should I not swing at it? So in your mind, you want to be extremely strict. You want to have a line here on your belt. You want a line here on your knees. If it's in somewhere on those lines or in between, yeah, we're hitting it. Now, in real practical, for all practical purposes, if the ball is just a little bit higher or a little bit lower, that's completely fine. But in your mind, I want you guys to stay strict in the power zone. And if it leaks out a little bit and you get some great hits that are a little bit out of the zone, then we'll deal with that too. So guys, it's really simple to work on this. Do the 9-zone drill with the tee. Move the tee all around the 9 zones. Again, you can watch that video to go over specifically how to do that drill. Set up your camera waist height so that you can see where the pitches are coming in while you're practicing, and just make sure you're gaining that spatial awareness so that you can put your great swing to use. And the best part about this, guys, it gives you the definitive area to know where you want to hit the ball, and now you can free it up and let it rip. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, but stay tuned. I got an even better bonus video coming up for you. Getting into the power zone is extremely important, but making sure that you're in the right transition position to allow your hands to go to that anatomical position in the middle of the power zone is extremely important. And we're going to show you how to build that transition position with one simple drill. We're going to play a preview of that video at the end of this video. You can see that video absolutely free by clicking on the iCard at the top of the screen or in the link in the description below. Go ahead and check that out, guys. Thanks so much again for watching. Good luck with your games. Good luck with your swings, and we'll see you guys soon. Today, I'm going to show you the #1 move that kills bat lag. But most importantly, we're going to do a drill that will instantly give you a tight transition into bat lag and have your swing looking drastically better today. The move that I'm talking about here is when we're going into our transition and the bat lays down, and now the only thing that we have to rely on for bat speed is our pure swing from Mike Trout. He does this really, really well. You'll see as we pause him here in the max bat lag position, his barrel is really high, and you can see that it's barely dipping into that line. You can imagine if this was a nail and this bat was a hammer, if I was trying to hammer this nail in like this would be kind of like me dumping the bat. But if I'm letting this hammer swing and slam into this ball over and over again, I'm going to be very, very efficient. Now, I'm sure you guys are ready for it by now. Let's go ahead and dive into the wall drill. All right, guys, here we go. The wall drill.